Okay, so it looks like we're recording. What?
How do you mute your phone?
Well, I can mute you.
I know.
So I'm not. We'll learn as we go. But all I know is I can see, and I can mute all the lines when I want to unmute them. So I don't know. I think you just *6 how you mute your own line at home, like on your phone. Like so, if you have a mute button, I think that if you mute it, that would work. And do it that way. Did that answer your question, Jim? I hope
Can
so.
you hear me, Quila?
Yes.
Okay, if you go to the participant box, you can click on, you can put the cursor on your name, and you've got an option to mute there. If you are just on the computer in the lower left corner,
it's a mute.
There's a mute button also.
All right. Jim, did you hear that?
Yeah, can you hear me? I heard that.
Yes. Okay.
Yep.
Quila, can you hear me? This is Sandy.
I can.
Oh, okay.
Hello, Christina Ginden from Anaheim.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody. Let's go ahead and there's just so much to cover, and I'm very excited. So I want to welcome everybody for being on the call this morning. It's the first Saturday of a new year of 2019, and it's going to be an awesome, awesome year. So let's get started. Yes, we've switched to Zoom. So obviously, when we send a thing out, it's about half the price of what we were paying with Join Me. It has a lot more features, and it's easier to use. It's just a better thing all the way around. And the opportunity meeting that goes on, and I really like this because there's a little bit of noise. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mute all the lines, and then you can unmute yourself if you want to chime in. So mute all the lines. Continue. All right. So I just think it's going to be a great thing, and appreciate those individuals that are collaborating and partnering with the trainings, and for the small fee of, I think it was like less than $12 a year for an area or an individual in an area. It's very, very cheap. So appreciate that. So we switched. All right. I just want to know, when I set this up, when I was doing this, I was on the airplane flying back from North Carolina. It was on the 31st of December. And upper left are Andy and Macy. They've grown up. Andy's 6, Macy's 4. At Wood Creek, I was in North Carolina. We went on a walk on Christmas Day. Down below is Jimmy. He's 2, but ever since he could speak, he's had infatuation for helicopters and airplanes, but mainly helicopters. And then on the right-hand lower corner is JoJo, and she's 4 months. She's a little princess. And then Stephanie turned 30. That's my youngest daughter in the upper left. And then Jim and I flew in on Christmas Eve, and we got in like at 5 o'clock that afternoon, and I can tell that we're having Christmas dinner. And then on the lower right, it's my sweet little Kirby, and it's really sad. You get so attached to your animals, but he had to be put to sleep on New Year's Eve when I was flying home. I couldn't get back in time, and he was just my little buddy. So anyway, that's a little bit about me. And our house is very empty, and we're deciding what little furry friends we're going to get and bring into our home again. So, and Jim's on the lower left with Andy. I'm up on the upper right with Macy. So anyway, that's didn't have Jessica in here. There wasn't a picture I think that she would approve to me to put in. So I didn't put that in. So here we go. All right. So I was looking at some things, and I want to, before we go on business building stuff, I want to talk about something that we used to do. We used to have this call every week, and it'd be a call that there was 4 of us hosted. Mindy Jones, myself, there was a Sean Bergeron, there was another individual, and we would host this call every week. And I got out what I used to talk about because I don't know if we really remember what we have. And I'm just going to read to you the very beginning of what it was. And it said, I'd thank the person. I'd say, thank you, Thea, and welcome everyone to tonight's Monday Review Call. And I go, you're in for a treat. You're going to hear about the #1 nutritional food science company in the world. And simply put, we make the finest nutritional products on the planet today. And because it's so great, it changes people's lives, and there is an incredible opportunity that comes with it. I'm going to touch base with a few individuals who benefited from the products. And so we bounce around and we talk to people. And then at the end, I'd say we do not make any claims about the Relive products. Our products don't heal, cure, prevent, or diagnose. What they do is simply bridge the gap between the food that we eat on a daily basis and the nutrition that we should be getting. People love our products. And what that does is create an incredible business opportunity. And just like we heard from the people receiving benefits from the products, they receive benefits from the business as well. When I looked at that, it really made me think about, how long we've been with Relive. We're going on, I believe, 29 years. 29 years, I believe that. And it just really made me think about, I think it's 28 years. But it made me think about nothing, we're still the same company. We have incredible products that I can't live without. We have products that change people's lives. And, I want to talk about what things that have happened this week. A couple days ago, Stephanie had put one of her professors at BYU, her daughter, really followed Stephanie as Stephanie played basketball. And her daughter went on to play basketball herself. And they're kind of spitting images at each other. And anyway, her daughter went on a mission, ended up getting a parasite, and came back, and she's never recovered. I mean, she's just gotten worse and worse. And she'll try to play basketball, goes out for like a quarter, comes back and isn't doing well. Anyway, long story short, her parents reached out, and this is, again, a family that had been on the products, and they dwindled off, and now they're coming back. And that's what I love about Relive, is that I never worry when people maybe move over or try something else, because they always come back. And that's an exciting thing, and we're excited to see those benefits. But anyway, let's go ahead and open it up really quick on what's happened maybe over the holidays with your business, and then we're going to go right into training. So I'm going to, hold on, I'm going to unmute all the lines. So every line's unmuted.
Violet, can you hear me?
I can.
Hi, it's Julie. This may seem small, but I thought it was sweet that one of my customers actually Merry Christmas, sent a text to say Merry Christmas to me first before I got to them. So it was just sweet.
Fun. That is very nice. That's good. Thanks for sharing that. Who else wants to share?
Hey, Quila, it's Lauren.
Hi, Lauren.
Robert did something late November, early December-ish, and recommended to our group that we send out Christmas cards to people in our organization. And thinking about it, really, that was, I mean, obviously it's always good just to keep in touch in general, and I'm not very good at Christmas cards, so that was a good goal for me to send those. I can't remember how many I sent. I didn't quite get to everybody, but I ended up hearing back from people, and had some people order, and it was just a really nice way. I mean, people sent messages back of, oh, thank you so much for my Christmas card. And then I realized when I get Christmas cards, I don't really send, thank you texts, but I don't know. It was just really nice, and kind of a good way to, I don't know, just keep connected and show people that we care and that they're family and that we love them.
It is, we always send out Christmas cards, and we send out a lot, and it is a great way. And again, it's just keeping in touch and letting people know that you care. That's a great thing. So great. Thank you for sharing that. Anyone else have anything they want to share?
Hi, Beulah. This is Sandy. I did much
Hi,
the
Sandy.
same. I did a letter to update everybody because the last 2 years we had some family priorities, so I was just really getting back into it in 2018 and did a family update and the fact that we are moving in February, things that need to be known. And then I followed up with a Happy New Year Flight 2019, and I think I sent it to Becky, and I'm keeping track. I had probably 24 or more people reply back to me, and I like to take and keep track of that, because if they're responding, then those are people that I want to be working with in the future because we've now connected really well. So it is a good thing to know who's responding, and then you know the list that you want to make and follow up with.
That's such a great thing. I mean, it is all about connecting. I mean, I keep reading all these articles about how high-tech we are and all the social media, but yet so many people feel very secluded and isolated, and it's just a thing to, again, letting people know that you care. So that's great. Thanks, Sandy. Anyone else want to share?
Quila, this is Roger.
Hi, Roger.
Hey, I'm just really excited about something that's going to be happening next Saturday. On this training, we're going to have Ambassador Mare Hill on the training, and she's going to be training about Better Than Magic. And I saw this training when she came to Utah, and it really affected me, and it's one of the best trainings that I've ever seen. And I hope everybody will get their friends and their customers and distributors on the training next week, because it is going to be amazing.
I was going to mention that, so I'm going to cross that off my list, but yes. And, one of the things I think that we should be doing after on our trainings is mentioning who's going to be doing training the next week so that we can promote that. Everything's all about promotion, but Mare is an incredible trainer. So, for those people that maybe have distributors that maybe don't get on these trainings, I would really start promoting that and letting them know this would be a great way to start the year out. So thank you, Roger. It's going to be, and thank you for, just putting in that effort to do that. It's going to be great. So thank you.
Well, you're welcome. And the neat thing is that this training can apply to anything, and especially to our Relive businesses, but in getting those things that we want. And it's a great time of year to look at this because it definitely ties in with setting goals and attaining those goals.
Yeah, it's going to be great. Thank you. Thank you so much. Anybody else?
Quila, can you hear
Quila,
me?
I'll share.
Okay. That was Christina.
Yeah. So I went home for the holidays. I'm currently living in Southern California, so Northern California, going home. But when I came back and everyone just realized how chipper I was, I told them, I went home. And that started a lot of conversation lately about why people haven't been able to have the opportunity to go home themselves. And I just think that's kind of something that really hit me really in the heartstrings, because I think it's important that everyone be able to go home to their family. So that's been a good conversation starter for my business. And from there, just going to my upline and keeping the conversation going. So I just really wanted to share that.
Here's the thing, whatever the trigger is to individuals, really what the things that are important to you, when we're reaching out, the most of the time it's going to be important to another individual, maybe not, but when you just share from your heart, you'll hit those triggers and get people thinking of, man, I'd really like to make a difference here. And so, yeah, that's a great thing. Thank you, Chris. Thank you so much for sharing. Anyone else? So we're going to go ahead and move on. Anybody else?
Can you hear me, Quila?
Yes.
This is Luann. Yes, I just have to say, how wonderful distributors are in Relive. They will just go the extra mile to help. And my cousin's been on the products for a while. She's up in Washington, grew up in Moab, and the change of the climate has totally triggered some things for her health-wise, lungs and her foot swelled up, and just a lot of things going on for her. And she started on the Relive, and she, was doing better, and the foot went down to normal, and she was not coughing as much and and she ran out of Lunar Ridge X. Now, we had ordered thinking that we had figured it all out, but someone stole Relive off of her porch. And so we had to track the package and everything. So in the meantime, her foot swells back up and she's miserable again. And so I reached out to another distributor that I knew of in the Washington area, and you know, he connected me to another distributor, and that distributor drove an hour to take my cousin product. And she was so grateful because she couldn't even get out of bed. And so then as soon as she got the products, you know, you were talking about what we have. As soon as she got the products, the foot went down again. She had a little now and energized, but for some reason that wasn't quite enough. It was the Lunar Ridge X capsules that were decreasing that inflammation. And so as soon as she got them, she said, man, I opened that bottle, pulled that cotton out, and I took 5 of them at once. And, you know, and then she has been doing much, much better. So, you know, it's amazing what people do in Relive to help each other. And so I'm really grateful for distributors that reach out and help people when they don't even know them. So
here's the thing though, Luann, you are an amazing individual, and I think anybody on this call would be willing to help you because you've done so much for others. I mean, when you know, it comes back. It's a big circle. So what you give always comes back tenfold. So that's a reflection on you as well. So thank you. Thanks for sharing that.
Thank you.
All right. I'm going to go ahead and we're going to move over here. I'm particularly, you know, we're talking about the Hawaii trip. I hope that everyone's working on that. One of the things that, hold on just a second. Yeah. One of the things that I'm excited about is the Sales Excellence Award. And I don't know if you guys saw this when it came through. We've got all these other things that happen. You get, you know, 250 when you know, quick starts, master affiliates, you get all these different things. They've got the promotions going for several months. But I like this. Starting this month, you can earn tools and events that help you. So when you do 15,000 in a calendar month, you get the following. You get a free year subscription to your Relive Web Bundle, which includes the personal website, the dashboard, and the mobile app. That's all free. And you get free registration to the next Relive Live event per distributorship. So usually that's 2 people per distributorship. All right, so when you do that for the second month in the year, so let's say you do it in the month of January, and you do it again maybe in March, well, you get a free Microsoft Surface Pro. I mean, how cool is that? And then when you do it 3 times in the year, you'll earn a trip to the leadership retreat at Relive headquarters in St. Louis. 2, you know, airfare, 2-night hotel, plus expenses. You get to spend 2 days at the Relive office and participate in leadership training, be a part of a promotional video, photo shoot, a special dinner with Tom Pennick and Ryan Montgomery. Plus, for every time you do this, Relive will make a donation to the Relive Cloggers Foundation in honor of the distributor recipient. So here's the thing, you guys. Check this out. Why not just go to work and do this? I mean, there's a couple things I really like in here. Number one, they're giving you the tools that we really need. So getting that year to the web bundle, and then free registration, and then the Surface Pro, and then the trip. I mean, why not work for that? Why not just buckle down and do that? That leadership retreat used to be made for those people that were doing senior director. But the reason they're doing that is they want more people to see what's going on. You know, once you go to the Relive headquarters and you really see the heart of what this is, and you get to really spend time with all the leaders one-on-one, and you don't have to be, you know, standing in line for all these people to take pictures. I mean, it's usually, you know, smaller groups that they do this, but you want to do this. So I'm just telling you, this is something that you definitely want to do, and start figuring it out. How do you get 15,000 in a month? Well, 3 master affiliates, or, you know, 2 master affiliates and personal group, or quick starts, or whatever it might be. But the thing is, you need to start now, and that's one of the most important things. I'm going to mute all these. What?
The new volume definition is at the bottom of that page. Just make sure everyone sees that.
New volume is defined as personal group point volume in a calendar month for any distributor or customer registered in that specific month. Personal volume, not counting any Quaggas foundations, all personal group from qualifying master affiliate volume, regardless of when the distributor is registered, must be purchased from Relive. That's right. So you can't, everything has to go through your account, be under your ID number. So if you've got people in your personal group, they need to be ordering through your personal group. They can't be buying it from you or anything like that. So kind of, that's what they call kind of like matching volume. Anyway, all right. I just muted everyone, and we're going to continue here. Let me go back up to here. All right, so we talked about that. All right, so I'm going to talk about this. I've done a couple workshops on this, but I really want you to think about this for the new year. So as you're looking for Relive this year, is this an interest? Is this something that, you like, you show up, you love going to all the different, events that Relive has, you love the people, and that's fine. That's perfectly fine. Having Relive as an interest, that means it's there for you, it's definitely on your mind. But recognizing that it's an interest, you're probably not going to earn that same kind of income where even if it's a hobby. Hobbies are expensive. I mean, when I look at the horses that I have, or even my sewing or those things, I love them. They're an interest. It interests me, but it usually costs me money. Or is it a business? So here's the thing. There's a real big difference between all of this. Interest, hobby, business. There are three different statements with three different definitions. And if this is a business, then, we talk about it all the time. Treat it that way. But how many of us do not? I'll just lay it on the line. When Jim and I first started this, the first 5 years of our life, we really put a lot of things on the side burner because we viewed this as opening up a store on a corner. So when we were looking at buying Dunkin' Donuts, there was, several, $100,000 of output that we were going to have to put to build a business. And you're required, you would have to work really hard and spend all these hours. And you were all in. I mean, there was no, well, sorry, I can't do this. I've got this going on. This comes first. I'm not saying that you have to put anything, set anything aside or sacrifice anything. It's really to an individual and personal. But if we think that our business is going to grow by osmosis, it's not going to happen. You have to put some elbow grease in. You have to be focused. You have to be willing to be committed. And you have to know where you're going. Because there's no way that anyone's going to follow you. There's never been a business built. No one. I mean, could you imagine the CEO of a board of directors getting up in front of everybody and saying, well, we're all here, so what do we do next? They're not going to do that. You're going to lose respect, and people, they want to follow. The majority of people are followers, and they want to follow someone that knows where they're going. So one of the things that I really feel that you should think about this year is to decide, what is it? What is it really? I mean, maybe you're telling everyone that it's a business, but maybe for you it's a hobby. There's nothing wrong with it being a hobby, but recognize that you're not going to get the same results as if you viewed this as a business. So it's very different between the two. All right. So if you want to have it as a business, you need to know where you're headed. And again, it goes back, we've talked about this, but somehow we continue, and repetition is a wonderful thing. We need to always go over it. Why are you in Relive? Jim has always said, and this is a Jimism, he says, I'm on the products for life, so I will be in the business for life. Do we do the business at a different pace, nearly 30 years later? Of course we do. And that's okay. But we will always be talking about Relive. I mean, I love all of our cars have Relive license plates on them. I don't know if we'll ever move out of the state until we retire, simply because I'm not willing to give those up. We love that. We love being able to drive around and have people say, oh, I used to be on that. We get business from that. What are you expecting from Relive? What is it? Okay, so if you're making $200 a month, do you want to make $1,000 a month? If you're making 1,000, do you want to make 2? Do you want to make 8 or 4? What is it, and what are you willing to do? Remember that your efforts need to match your goals. Many people set goals at the beginning of the year, and 90 days later, they're done. I mean, it's no different than people that say that they want to lose weight, and they go into the, to the club packed for really only about 10 weeks. Then people are done. They give up because doing anything in life takes effort, and a lot of people are lazy and they don't want to do it. So where are you? What are you willing to do? What's your time commitment? When we first started this, we took phone calls, at night when we would just sit down and maybe watch a Blazer game. One of the things, we had season tickets to the Blazers, and we ended up, we didn't do that because we realized that really took a lot of time away from building our business. And every time we'd sit down and maybe watch a movie or something, someone would call. Okay, I chose to let the movie go forward without me, but I chose to take that call. My family knew what we were building. We set goals as a family. Our kids, we went to Disneyland every year. That was the goal. And we told them, you know what, we're working really hard. And when we would make certain goals, they were all in. They got part of the reward as well. So whether it was a Disneyland trip, whether it was a monetary trip, we included our family in what we did. Sacrifice. Just to be honest, I mean, Relive is the easiest and funnest thing you'll ever do, but you can't, you can have it all. I'm going to tell you that. I love the book by Mary Kay Ash. She wrote, "You can have it all," and you can. But you need to be willing to be organized, and there's certain things that you can't do. One of the things when I was working from home, everyone in the neighborhood and at church and all my friends thought that I could watch all their kids and I could do all these things. And I said, no, I'm working. And when people finally realized, yep, I was working from my home from this hour to this hour, I couldn't. But from this hour to this hour, I could. And so people realized that I had working hours and I worked hard. So you need to recognize that a lot of people are going to rain on your parade. My father did. We first got started and Dad said, well, when it gets to be 5 years, you really got something. 5 years later came, we were, making over $100,000 a year. Well, when it gets to be 10 years, then, you've really got something. 10 years comes, we're, working hard, moving forward, earning tons of trips, going around the world. Well, when it gets to be 20 years, then you've really got something. I'm like, Dad, I'm going to knock it off. It really irritated me because, it was hard for people to realize that you can move forward and have success without bringing them along. And that's really what it is. It's kind of like the crabs in a crab pot. They try to pull the other crabs in that are trying to get back out. They want to stay where they're at and be miserable. Know where you go. If you really want to make a difference in your life this year, then do it. All right, road to presidential. Actually, I don't think my one slide came up. So what is it? Key director, senior director, master director, presidential director. Go online, look at the director program, get with your upline, and figure out where you want to go this year. And I would say don't ask to take their time unless you really have an intention on making the goal. Because your upline is more than willing to work with you, to help you, but you have to be willing to do your part. So don't, it's the back part of our brain that's driving. We all tell people what we want to do to look like, wow, I want to be a part of that. But be honest with yourself. Have that personal integrity on what you really want to do. And if this year, if what you want to do is just, maintain being a master affiliate, get a couple customers a month or a week or whatever it is. But just know that whatever you do is a step forward in the right direction. So the road to presidential is the road that we followed, and it's one that was a roadmap for us. We made sure at that time we had get-togethers every quarter, and we were always trying to make sure that we were recognized for something. You know, maybe it's every conference you want to be recognized for something. One of the best ways to work towards this road to presidential is to earn that excellence award and do a $15,000 month. That will kickstart your business, and that will help you on that road to presidential. All right, so let's jumpstart your business. Let's get it back on track, or if you're new, let's get it onto the right track. So there's 4 A's that I want to talk about. First one's attitude. Again, I shared that in the beginning. Do you really understand what you have? You guys, we have products that are changing people's lives. I'm getting nervous myself because I have 4 bottles of 24K left, and I go through about a bottle a week. And I know my daughter has 3, and I'm going to buy her 3 from her, but I'm anxious to get the 24K out because I like it. I can tell a difference when I don't take it, and I need it. And the Lunarich capsules, I love them. You guys, I love our products. My anxiety level goes up very, very high when I feel that we're low because I don't ever want to be without my products. That's the connection that I have. The business, I love it. It's done exactly what we've wanted it to do, to provide an incredible income through our life and to supplement our retirement. It gives us options. It gives us choices. So, you know, have you made a decision about your attitude? I know that when you come up the stairs in our home, we have a landing, and there's a thing right there, and it says attitude, and it just talks about what is it, you know? It can make or break you. And I think you really need to think about that. Do you complain every time things don't go your way? Do you complain because maybe someone's not, you know, treating you the way you would like them to, or maybe your family, there's issues there? Just what is it? Because nobody wants to be around a sourpuss. They like to be around people that are happy. So if you're complaining about everything and wondering why people aren't joining in, you know, ask yourself, are you someone that lights the room up when you leave, or do you light it up when you walk in? What film do you have in the projector? Isn't it amazing how 2 people can look at the same outcome, and one person can be upset and one person's like, well, okay, so what is it? So if you have to work on your attitude, then work on it. Get some books, read them. There's so many great books out. Everybody should be reading a book that improves their personal growth. Okay? In addition to your scriptures, you should be reading a book that improves your personal growth. Oh, 1 second. Hold on. I need to tell my husband. Hold on just a second. I think the landscapers are here. All right. Hold on, everybody. Sorry about that. Okay. So that was the first A, is for attitude. And I think it's the first one because I think it's the most important. You can do all the right things, but if you don't have the right attitude, it's not going to happen. You guys, change your attitude, change your life. Attendance. All right. You got to show up. Whether you have weekly business opportunity meetings, webinars, in person, in your home, in your area, whatever it is, support them. All right. I know that the weekly ambassador business opportunity meetings have now gone to once a month just because the attendance has changed. You know what? I've been in this a long time, and we've seen when we first started, people really connected. They liked going to people's houses, and now people's lives are so busy. It's just changed. But whatever it is, and whatever is going on in your area or in your group, you need to support it. All right, weekly trainings that we have. So we've got the Saturday trainings. A lot of us, you know, people are doing trainings with their groups on a weekly basis. Support that. Impending events. You've got events in your area. Support them. There's nothing worse when people try to bring in people, and we do, and then you don't have it on calendars. Things compete for the same time. So, you know, if you have an event that's going on Friday at, 7 o'clock, circle it on your calendar and make a commitment to be there. Because when you make a commitment to be there, so are other people in your group. I mean, if you're not there, whatever your group does, you do, your group's going to do. So ask yourself, if my group mirrored what I did today, would my business grow? Probably not. Conferences, gotta go. I mean, I have my reservations ready for April, ready to go, and airline's done. Are you going? I mean, you have to go to conferences. It's kind of like that booster shot that helps give you that boost until the next one. They're very important. So we've got attitude and attendance. Action. So a weekly plan of action is important. Every Sunday, I would sit down and write out, okay, how many people am I going to contact? How many presentations am I going to do? How many, people am I going to hand out information to? All these kinds of things. How many phone calls am I going to do? All those kinds of things. You have to have a plan because, again, the week will go by and you go, wow, where'd the week go? I didn't get anything done. Again, treat this like a business. Is it a hobby? Is it an interest, or is it a business? Treat it like a business and you'll get that. Understand the numbers. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. And being consistent. Don't just work hard for 1 week and then stop the next. Be committed for a good year. Do the same thing for 1 year, and I promise you, you'll have results. Problem is, you don't. That's the difference between people that are presidential directors and people. I'm not saying that you guys there are people that I know that are on the call that are doing this and moving forward, but I'm going to tell you, most people that have made it to those higher ranks are people that have been very consistent, and it wasn't just for a week or a month or 3 months. It was for years. All right. You need to earn income to put, bread on the table. So why don't we just do what it takes to do it, and you'll make a lot of income with Relive. Just do what it takes. Trust me. I mean, have faith and follow those people that have pioneered this before you, because this is what it takes. All right. This looks like a really crazy sheet to all of you. And take a picture of it. And don't be calling Becky to send this out. If you want it, email me and I'll send it out all at one time, or Becky will send it out. I don't want to be sending it out everybody all at the same time. So maybe if you like it, maybe next Saturday we can send it out to everybody. But here's how it works. So in the top part, you have your projected personal group point volume, and then your organizational volume. So what you want to do is you would put in that top slide your name, and so then down below where the circles are, this is your personal group. So these are people that are below 40%. So let's say in one of these you wrote that you have, I'm just going to take my people that are not, but let's say that I had Dorothy, and Dorothy was at 35%. And I had Brenda, and Brenda was at 30%. And I just write down all these people that are there, maybe that I think are going to order this next month. So if Dorothy was at 35%, she's a person that I would probably talk to bump up to master affiliate. If she's been placing a lot of orders, I would say, gee, Dorothy, I calculated it this last year, and you ordered like $6,000 in product, and you could have saved X amount of money if you would have been a master affiliate. Let me show you how that works and show you how much money you can save. So I'm going to project that Dorothy could do $5,000 in volume. And then with Brenda, let's say that Brenda's at 30%, and she's going to stay there, but she's going to be placing an order this month for 500. And you kind of go down there. So this is how you get that volume of $15,000, is you've got to write it out and kind of project how you're going to do it. The other thing is 1 through 20 on the right-hand side. You want to fill that up with customers that might be at a preferred customer. Okay, that's where you pull into building your business. That's where it starts. So make it a goal to have 20 of those preferred customers or just retail customers all the time. All right, that's very important. And so let's say that number 5 could be Joe. You could pop Joe up into a circle because he really loves the product, and it looks like Joe's going to place a $500 order. So then you could put Joe and put him in a circle and put 500. Again, you're projecting what your volume will be. So I'm going to tell you, don't project it just to be 15,000. You need to project it to be about 18,000, because you always have people, it doesn't always go your way. It's not like a flow chart where, oh, well, Susie's going to do this. And at the last minute, Susie might change her mind. So you want to make sure that you've got it padded in there to get where you want to be. I hope that that makes sense. Down at the bottom, let's say that you're working towards going to, I'm going to say master director. And the blocks are your master directors. So if you notice, you've got 10 here. Yeah, you've got 10 because that's what you want to be as a 10-star director. And let's say that you have someone that consistently does, 2,000. So let's say that your goal is to get everybody here to do their maintenance. Well, at $20,000 on your front line, that's going to give you an extra 3%. So that's an extra $600 a month just by building a healthy master affiliate. I think that we've forgotten how to build a healthy master affiliate. I think we've forgotten that. A healthy master affiliate is someone that is doing volume. Sure, it's great to be a sponsor master affiliate, but if there's no volume that's running through that franchise, if you will, you're not going to make any income. So let's say that you have 10 frontline master affiliates, and you've got maybe one master affiliate that you're working with, and it looks like they're going to do that excellence award, and they're going to make $15,000. All right. Remember, you're going to earn 8% on all of this. So if you have 15,000 going through one, let's say that you have another 15,000 going through another one. Well, that's $30,000 in volume, and at 8%, that's $2,400. So then, if you take your other master affiliates, you just kind of work out. You got to plan your month. Figure out a plan for where you want to get to. So if you're sitting at a spot, there's no reason that you can't go from being a master affiliate or a director to a master director in a few months. You can do this. But it all starts with getting your 20. You want to get preferred customers. Those are great things. And you want to pull from that, and you want to build into your personal group, and you pull from that, and that's how you build master affiliates. And you know what the key is? Tom says if you can teach a donkey to roll over, you've got something. But if you can teach a donkey to roll over, then you really know you're doing something. You guys, it's duplication. That's what we're doing here. Does that make sense to everyone? Anyone have any questions? Let me look at the chat box. Becky says, if you're on the phone, star 6 will mute and star 9 will raise your hand. That's cool. Okay. So no, I'm going to take that there's no questions on this. I'm not seeing any. Okay. Let me go back to this. I'm trying to see why oh, there it is. Okay. Can someone either just put in the chat box, does this make sense to them? Jim, you can't do it because you know how to do it. Does this make sense to everyone? Because this is how we built our business. This is how we went to become, an ambassador. This is how we became a bronze ambassador. This is how we became a presidential director, a silver presidential director. Every time that we moved up into these bigger levels, higher levels in Relive, this is how we did it. So this is what it does. All right, thank you, everybody. I'm glad it does. I just wanted to make sure. Okay, here we go. So let's talk about your weekly plan, your goals. So if you want to do stuff, your goals this week, and this is taken from a slide that we used probably 15 years ago, but it's the same. Everyone's looking for some new way or new thing to slide in to help them have an edge. It's not. You add names to your list. And I'm sorry if you hear the landscaper in the back. This is the time that they do this. But add names to your list, and how many people are you going to talk to about Relive this week? Is it one? Great. That's probably one more person than you've been talking to. Is it 5? That's fantastic. Is it 5 a day? That's when you're going to be building your business, really, and putting it into a kickstart. But how many people are going to see a Relive element? How many people are you going to share and sit down and share with them how we earn money or anything about the products. Whether it's you're sharing the products or the business or both, that's going to be more than what you've done. So just do something. More appointments equal growth in your business. So if you do 5 appointments this week, that's going to be 20 appointments a month. They're going to be consistent. That's fantastic. Figure out what your numbers are. I'll tell you what my numbers are. Out of 20 appointments, usually out of all those 20, we're going to usually probably get about 8 or 9 quick starts out of those 20 appointments. And out of those 8 or 9 quick starts, usually 4 of them will turn into master affiliates. So what that means, hear what those numbers are. In order for me to get 10 master affiliates, I have to do 50 appointments. And out of those 10 master affiliates, if you're doing this correctly, you will have usually 1 ambassador. So if you want to become a silver ambassador, that meant I had to do 100 appointments. What is it? What are your numbers? Do you want to start at 50 for the year and go backwards, 50 and cross them off every time you do an appointment to where you need to be? What is it? You guys, you do 20 appointments. So if those are my numbers, it means that 12 people are either getting on the products, maybe they're being a preferred customer, that's fine, maybe they're not interested. But what happens if my first 12, that's what happens, and then I quit? Who would have known that 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 are going to be quick starts and going into master affiliates? So you just have to set a goal and be willing to do it no matter what. But I'm going to challenge you, don't quit. Really, the person that's really stunting your growth is you. It's not anybody else. You're the one that's making the choice to stop right when you're right there. You just can't do that. So what to promote now? Promote the upcoming event. We've got Mare Hill on with Roger Broberg next week on Saturday on this training. You want to promote these current promotions to people in your group that are doing the business and that have really said, maybe you've got people that have said, man, you know, I'd really like to do that bundle, but I just don't know if I can afford that. I'd love to go to conference, but I don't know. Hey, I can show you how you can get an entire year's worth of that bundle and get your registration paid for free if we work really hard this month. Who doesn't want to do that? So those are things we need to work on. Assistance, okay? That's the 4th A. Following up on your prospects and new distributors. Follow-up is key to everything. If you don't follow up, you're going to lose people. They might do stuff, but never what they could really become. You want to identify leaders, people that are in your business that are moving up to new levels. You want to reach out and touch base with them. Duplication, I've talked about that. It's the key. Maybe you're a great distributor, but the key is you need to help other people learn how to be a great distributor. Okay, that's what we do. So every business that's successful has to have a business plan. Many of you have seen this slide before. I talk about it over and over and over again. So the goals for this month, if you're working towards going master affiliate, know what your next step is. What do you need to get there? If you're already, what is your next director level? You want to know what's going to come next. Ask your upline and what does it take to get there, and understand the Star Director program and learn how that program works. How many new master affiliates is it going to take? And again, that's going to go back to this. If you feel you need it before then get it into me and we'll send it out this weekend. But, we'll just send it out as a cluster on getting that information. I love this slide. This slide works, believe me. I still remember sitting at a desk in California with Barb Rabanich, Ruby Ritchie, and Clara Lara, and we were working on popping me up to getting up to Silver Ambassador. And we were crunching all the numbers. I mean, you can look at what's coming in on your dashboard, but you need to be able to project and really have a vision of what you want to accomplish. The dashboard is a reflection of what you've visioned, but it's just not going to happen. So you want to ask your thing, who's next? And everyone's going to hear about Relive, and you need to make sure that they hear it from you. We all have the same stuff, same products, compensation plan system. The difference is you. And you really need to figure out, whose life are you going to change today? That's really what you want to think about. When you go out today, I plan on going out this afternoon and going to the mall and going out, and 9 times out of 10, you're going to talk to somebody that's complaining about something. Reach out. What's the worst thing that they're going to tell you? No. So what? We're so concerned about what people think about us rather than how much we should be thinking about them. So reach out to people. Alrighty. That is my training for today. I'm going to stop the recording. Stop the recording. I'm going to unmute all the lines. And all the lines are unmuted.
Thanks.
All right, everybody. Just go out and make it a great week this week, and just do what you need to do. We all know what we need to do. Let's just do it.
Thank you.
All righty.
Very good.
Thanks,
Thank
Quila.
you.
That was really good.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you so much, Quila.
All right.
Happy New Year,
And
Quila.
Happy New Year to everyone, too. Love everybody that's on the line and appreciate everyone like family. All right. So I'm going to end this call now. I think that's what I'm supposed to do. And I think we're good. Bye, everybody. End meeting.